Hi, I'm Armin Garibian, Ernst, and
I'm Jacob Walsh, and I'm playing the understudy of Ernst.
I basically, I don't know. I don't know what I did to prepare for this role. I'm sorry, I don't know what I did. I studied, I went on Wikipedia, I learned a little bit about that, I learned little bit about Stanislavski's system and stuff, and I tried to incorporate like the method acting and that. I really feel that if you have a good understanding of what your character's role is in the show, in the aura that they're supposed to give off, and the personality that they're supposed to represent in the show is, you'll be able to better play them. And you'll be able to not only play them, but in a sense, become them. And in my opinion, that's a vital part to stage acting. So.
I had also researched the Third Reich and stuff, on the internet. But my biggest influence to playing Ernst was my vocal teacher. Her husband is German, and his father, either father or grandfather, was in World War II as a prisoner, and he had this book that he showed me, and it was all in German, so I didn't really understand it, but it was a whole book of pictures of Hitler smiling and playing with little children. And it was really shocking because we all think of Hitler as like this really evil guy, and he was, but to see this one of the most evil men in history smiling and playing with these little kids, and like seeing them and him have a good time was really shocking to me. And so, I'd incorporated that as Ernst because I decided that, even though he is a Nazi, he's a good guy, and, in the script I'm trying to convey him as a good guy so that, the whole reveal is a shock and everything. And it helped me because I realized that it wasn't black and white, necessarily all the time. And I was shocked to see these photos, and it was a whole book of them. And so that's kind of what I really used as my, and still am using as my basis for portraying Ernst in Cabaret.
This is the first role I ever played, and it's a very good role to start off my career with, I believe. And I think that this role will set a foundation for the rest of my career in film acting. I feel that this character, I portray this character in my real life, in a sense, in the sense that in the sense that, like, I'm not a Nazi, I'm not a German Nazi, but it's like he's a very he's a very suave, schmoozy doozy kind of guy, and he in a sense maybe I implement that. So.
I've never portrayed a Nazi or any sort of role from this time period, and all the plays I've done, I have either been way far back in history or set in modern times. So it's nice to, and I've known about World War II and the Holocaust and stuff for a while because they teach you in school. So I'd say this role's different because it allows me to portray an evil character. And I've honestly never really even been an evil character before either, so that's kind of my thing is, so I've never gotten the chance to portray such a layered, dimensional character, and this being my first musical in PAA, it's, like he said, a very good way to start out with it, so.
Hardships. What hardships could you have when you're doing something you love? If hardships, I feel hardships is like I think of hardships and I think of the Nazis. I think of the role that I'm playing. I don't think of the times that I'm having during rehearsal. During rehearsal, I'm building a character. I'm building and growing as an actor and as a human being, and I'm gaining so much emotional experience, and I'm living in the moment. I love everything about everything that we do. It's truly a fantastic opportunity. So no hardships here.
Yeah, I agree with him. It's been challenging in some good ways for me, like using a German accent because I've never had to do that before.
This is true.
But I wouldn't say anything's been difficult or frustrating with this role. I mean, I think the cast is phenomenal, and everybody's really welcomed me in being a freshman and whatnot, being at the bottom of the food chain, I think that it's actually gone easier than I was expecting. So I can't really say there was any hardships either.
Hello, my name is Chase Bernativo, and I'm going to be Heinz Friedrich.
My name is Morgan Pritherch, and I will be Chanteuse.
Hi, my name is Franklin Ricard Jr., and I'm playing the role of Rudy the Sailor.
An actor really has to, get down and, really look at other characters and, other roles and other plays and movies and everything. And I really try to be original in this, and I really made up my own, but I took away from other, plays and movies, from, past experiences and other movies and plays.
I studied a lot of 1940s jazz singers, from old news footage to characterize myself in the way I move when I sing, and just been listening to a lot of German music to understand how someone German might sing. As I said earlier, I follow a lot of performers from the 1940s. I mean, I do a lot of my character inspiration came from Ella Fitzgerald. She did a couple European songs on one of her albums from, I believe, 1939, and I use her for a lot of my characterization and her confidence. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll go. For me, I really looked at a lot of Alan Cummings' performances and a lot of, not just in Cabaret, a lot of the other, commercials he's done, and I really I looked up to him to see how he portrayed himself in different things, because I felt that Alan Cumming was a very, very strong and one of the best MCs that was casted for that part. And even though I'm not that part, I just liked the way he portrayed that part as a German, and I really liked it.
Very good. I thought that Christoph Waltz in the movie *Inglourious Basterds* by Quentin Tarantino, I believe that he really showed really a lot of inspiration to me, because he was a perfect part, and he's done a lot of research for that role, and to me he really showed me the way for this.
I think for me, the challenges was definitely learning the German on such a short notice. I was cast as the understudy Chanteuse very recently, and it was difficult to get off book as fast as I did with the correct, pronunciations and German dialect.
I had to say that that's almost the same thing I had. The German dialect, I believe, was really tough. But that's what makes the actor. If a lot of the challenges, you gotta face them. And German dialect was hard, and also the blocking, you gotta do that good. And that's pretty much it. I mean, being with everyone as a play, it helps you, overcome those challenges.
For me, when I get casted in plays, I've never been a part that I am. I've never been this type of a character in a play, so I wasn't really used to, and I didn't really know what to do with it. But with the help of an amazing director, I was able to know the expressions and how to play that character very good.
Hi, my name is Kayla McCourt, and I play Fräulein Kost.
And my name is Krista Steiner, and I play the Fräulein Kost understudy.
I actually did a lot of research on the fashion back then, because I feel like that's kind of my niche almost, if that makes sense. I did a lot of how they look back then, and I kind of put that into me, and I don't know, they're stylistic forms. And then I kind of from there, of course I had to watch Pretty Women, and I watched a lot of movies of prostitutes, and I kind of just saw that sense of desperation / free willingness.
I researched first a lot about Germany in World War II and what it was like for people, and it was really, really hard because they just ended a depression, and they just life was completely ruined. So I kind of took that and thought about what it would be like for a person who just lost everything in their entire life. And I looked at a lot of pictures of stuff that happened, like with people in the streets and like women who were prostitutes who literally were hugging crying children that they couldn't feed. So it was really interesting kind of to look at that prospect. I also, throughout my daily day and stuff, I would kind of think about what Cost would think of the situation that I was in, kind of think about what her reaction would be to my daily life. So it's kind of cool to have kind of conversation with two people in your head. It's weird.
I generally get cast as the empowering role, which I feel like it's very similar in that, where she's very empowering. But this is different because she's very desperate almost. Like there's a very big, she plays the funny character, and she's so funny on stage and stuff like that, but there's a serious sadness to her. And I think that was a lot different for me than from previous roles I've played, and to tap into that darkness while having a smile on your face was very challenging, and it was a really good acting experience.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of comedy stuff, and Cost is a completely different person because Cost is a survivor, and Cost doesn't take anything from anyone, and she's just like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna be an independent person and make my own choices, and you can't tell me otherwise. And it's like, oh, I'm not really whoa, she's little in your face. So it's kind of different to play someone that's totally I'm gonna do this, and it's interesting.